Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and we're on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-112 for parcel number 71918-31291600, represented by Sean and Becky Bowen, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is opened.
Hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. There are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is myself, Jim Brakehill as chair, Marta Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Since there's no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. Subject is a 2,686 square foot single family residence on a 7,767 square foot residential lot in Moses Lake. As seen on page 6, sales comparison grid supports an average adjusted value of $517,942. Also, the subject sold on April 17th, 2025 for $510,000. That sale was not used for market adjustments as it was past the date, but just illustrates the rise in the market. We're asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land $62,500, building $408,781 for a total assessed value of $471,281.
Okay.
Okay. Again, today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and we are here for petition number 2024-113 for parcel 32380-1209566060, represented by Derek and Carrie Perez, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. And Clayton, reminder that you are under oath still. We may continue.
Go ahead.
All right. So the subject is a 2,384 square foot single family residence on a 17,860 square foot residential lot in Moses Lake. As seen on page 6 is sales comparison grid that shows an average adjusted market value of $707,328. Therefore, we are asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land $42,800, building $542,867 for a total assessed value of $585,667.
Questions?
I do not.
Okay.
This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and we're on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-115 for parcel number 33642-121576000, represented by Keith and Deborah Goodrich, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is myself, Jim Brinkle as chair, Mark Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines and please address the board only. Since there is no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear the testimonies you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, subject is a 2,145 square foot single family residence and a 924 square foot detached garage on a 31,405 square foot waterfront lot in Moses Lake. Based on sales comparison grid on page 6, the average adjusted market value is $900,874. The appellant has provided 3 sales in their petition of comparable properties sold in the last 5 years. Sale A was added as comparable 5 in the previous grid, and sale C was added as comparable 4. With the addition of the appellant sales, the average still supports our value. Neither sale was used for market adjustments of the subject property, as sale C was past the cutoff date and sale A was not in the same neighborhood. Sale B that the appellant provided was of a multi-family residence, therefore was not used in adjustments and was not added to the sales comparison grid. With that, we are asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land $186,075, building $594,081 for a total assessed value of $780,156.
Questions? No questions. Okay. Let's go on to the next one.
Thank you. I'm like, where are my hats? Again, today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025. We are here for petition number 2024-119 for parcel number 70110-311223000, represented by Christopher and Marie Molitor, who are not in attendance. Assessor's Office, Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. A reminder, Mr. Johnson, you are still under oath.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, subject is a 2,275 square foot single family residence and an 896 square foot detached garage on a 18,731 square foot waterfront lot in Moses Lake. Page 6 is sales comparison grid showing a adjusted average market value of $1,139,864. The subject initially received a market adjustment that was removed due to differences in square footage and year built, so it's been set back to cost. The previous above sales grid uses properties from the surrounding areas to demonstrate the market value of similar waterfront properties. Comparable one was the only one in the subject neighborhood. It was not used in market adjustment for the subject due to difference in year built. With that, we're asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land $181,100, building $791,921 for a total assessed value of $973,021.
Okay.
Again, today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and we're here for petition number 2024-140, excuse me, for parcel number 20515-090865259, represented by Justin Rowland, who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Reminder, Mr. Johnson, you're still under oath.
Yeah.
Wait for a second. Let me get that one up. 140, correct?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The subject is a 8,533 square foot residential lot that contains a 2006 built single-family residence and an attached garage. On page 7 is a sales comparison grid that shows an average adjusted market value of $317,881. With that, we're asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land, $62,500, building, $218,206, for a total assessed value of $280,706.
Questions?
I don't have any questions.
Next one, we'll go to 164. I left them a message, but you want to proceed with that one?
Why don't we pass that one and just give them a little more time in case they decide to call. Going to which one?
Call, 191. Okay, today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025. We're here for petition number 2024-191 for parcel number 74563-3202-58015, represented by Stephen and Christine Dahl, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Reminder, Mr. Johnson, you are still under oath.
All right. The subject is a 280 square foot park model mobile home on a 2,100 square foot residential lot at Potholes Golf and Camping Resort. Page 6 will show the sales comparison grid. Supports an average adjusted market value of $110,881. Therefore, we're asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land, $30,000, building, $38,792, for a total assessed value of $68,792.
Right.
Do you want to take a break so I can call this, the Torresons, or do you want to move to the mountains?
Let's go ahead and take a break and you can make that phone call and we can.
Yeah, maybe they can,
Yeah.
be convenient to call a little earlier, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go into recess. Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025. We are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-040 for parcel number 70980-312-059-000, represented by Eric Segnar, who is not in attendance. Assessor's office is represented by Casey Gray, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones. Note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is opened.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is myself, Jim Breakboat's chair, Mark Steinmetz is vice chair, Jerry Gingrich is a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Since there's no appellant, as the assessor's representative, swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you. So the subject parcel is 3.33 acres of suburban land. The improvements include a manufactured home as well as a detached garage. The appellant's concern was that no improvements had been made since last year's assessment. This parcel was not in reval and not physically inspected, so no changes were made to the details of the property. The change in the value is the result of the market adjustment. The sales on page 6 of my appraiser response are the most recent sales of like properties that were used to develop that market adjustment. In the sales comparison grid on page 7, those are reflected there as well. Comparable number 1 is most comparable to the subject, and our original value could be supported. However, with the average of that sales grid being a lesser value, we are asking the board to adjust our value. We're asking the board to sustain an adjusted value of land at $56,720, improvement value at $278,780, for a total assessed value of $335,500. Sorry, $335,500.
Now's your chance.
I'm good.
Art? Okay.
Are we concluding or going into the maps? I apologize.
I would think we concluded since we have to change.
Great, sorry, thank you. So this concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all the information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order.
Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and we are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-164 for parcel number 22978-091760134, represented by Gregory and Eva Olson, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Commissioners, or Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to your assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. The Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brakefield as chair, Mark Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Since there is no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, the subject is a 1,415 square foot single family residence on a 7,020 square foot residential lot. On page 6, you'll see where the sales are located within the subject's neighborhood. The subject is highlighted in blue. The sales in the direct comparison grid on page 7 are the sales that were used to develop the market adjustment for the subject parcel's neighborhood. The sales support a market value of $350,867. Therefore, we are asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land $62,500, building $259,751, for a total assessed value of $322,251.
Questions?
I have lots of questions, but none for him.
Okay, this concludes Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all the information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order.
Are you ready?
Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and we are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization. We'll be hearing petition number 2024-193 for parcel number 21188-091228000, represented by Nicholas and Verna Mount, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. The Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Breakville as chair, Marge Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep your timelines. Please address the board only. And again, since there's no appellant here, does the assessor's representative swear the testimony about to give us the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The subject is a 1,404 square foot single family residence and a 900 square foot detached garage on a 13,200 square foot residential lot in Moses Lake. On page 7, you'll see the sales in the subject neighborhood. The subject received a positive 10% market adjustment based on the above sales. It should have received a positive 20% market adjustment as residences with a year bill of 1960 and newer received that plus 20. Per our policy, we did not make the changes to bring, as that would have resulted in a value increase. We did not make that change. On page 7, you'll see an adjusted market value, average adjusted market value of $280,951. Therefore, we're asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land $46,575, building $155,077 for a total assessed value of $201,652.
Any questions? Mark?
No.
Let's go on to, I believe it's 164. No, 194, 19394. Okay.
All right. Today is still Thursday, September 18th, 2025. We are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing petition number 2024-194 for parcel number 23053-10004800, represented by Veronica Mount et al., who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Chair of the board is convened.
Reminder, you're under oath.
Yes, sir. All right, the subject is a 1,521 square foot single family residence and a 720 square foot detached garage on an 8,400 square foot residential lot in Moses Lake. Page 7 is the sales comparison grid that shows an average adjusted market value of $174,527. The appellant has stated that there are conditional issues with the residence. The condition and effective age of the residence has been reflected as seen in the sales comparison grid. The appellant states that the residence is vacant and uninhabitable, however, has not provided any evidence that the home is uninhabitable and homes are valued as if vacant. Therefore, vacancy has no bearing on the value. Therefore, we are asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land $42,500, building $64,870 for a total assessed value of $107,370.
Questions? Mark? I actually have one. Is this one of those that got a market adjustment?
Let's see. Yes, this would have this would have received a positive market adjustment based on the sales on page 7 there, on those comparables.
Anything else?
Okay, this concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearings. The board will review all the information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. All right, today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and we are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization. We'll be hearing petition number 2024-169 for parcel number 24242-10113000, represented by Edwin Russ Torreson, who is in attendance via Zoom. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Board today is comprised of myself, Jim Brakewell, as chair, Marge Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Do both the appellant and the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Thorson?
Yes.
Can you turn him up a little?
Yeah, we need to get involved.
I couldn't, I'm sorry.
Could you say that again, please?
Yes.
The appellant will go first and present testimony, then will be followed by the appraiser. Go ahead, sir. Mr. Thorson, it's you.
I apologize I couldn't be there in person. I had a better presentation. From listening to what you just said, it sounds like I'm not allowed to provide any further evidence.
That's correct.
So I can't show my understanding was I had the opportunity to show evidence or content contrary to what the appraiser came up with. In other words, I have, if I'm allowed to screen share, I have photos that nobody could possibly see from taking a few pics from their truck or their vehicle in the street versus the condition of the house on the inside, the outside, and the top.
Did you submit those in the timely fashion that was supposed to be submitted?
I submitted everything that I could. My understanding was that today, if I were there in person and at the last minute, I've had to come to work, unfortunately, that I was able to show photos that would be contrary to what the appraiser came up with.
No new evidence can be submitted this time. That's correct.
So then respectfully, sir, why are we here then?
That's
It sounds like the citizen has to submit to the county's decision, and that we're here as a formality to check a box.
negative. You could have submitted the information prior to the hearing within the time frame, and then we would have had it here and we could have gone over it. Like you said, we've gone over everything that you submitted.
So the information that I did submit, I guess I would just say this, and then let the cards fall as they may, sir. In the last 3 years, Grant County has asserted that 2 years ago, my property appreciated by 40% or 39%, and now 30%. And I did a search on Google for the entire United States. The highest year-over-year real estate for residential appreciation has been 11%. In Washington State, it's 5.6%, and that was not Grant County. And so I guess I'm just struggling with the notion that I have this property that is in great need of repair, and every time I walk around the house, I see more issues that would have to be fixed to sell it at this to be consistent with the market. There's no way I'm appreciating at that rate, and so I don't understand. I do understand rather that Grant County uses a process called mass appraisal, but that doesn't involve walking through a residence and seeing that, uh, for example, it's extremely outdated, that there's electrical issues, the plumbing's outdated, that outside there's siding that's dilapidated, that there's roof issues, that there's leakage issues, that there's mold issues. And so, again, even with this adjusted appraisal of 555,000, without having walked onto the property or through the property, I don't understand how somebody could come up with that value. And that was my hope to go through photos today, uh, had I been there in person or here on Zoom. So with that, I don't know what else I can do without uh, the right to show the board or the BOE what's really going on inside and outside the house.
Okay. Did you make any attempt to get a hold of the assessor's office and talk to them one-on-one and request a walkthrough?
Frankly, I didn't understand I had the right to do that. My understanding was that this in-person forum was set up to do similar to, for lack of a better word, a mini hearing. I'm not going to use the word trial, but a place where somebody could submit evidence and have it viewed and have the opportunity for Q&A.
That's correct. If you'd have submitted the evidence in the timely fashion as required by the law, we could have reviewed that information. My question still stands. Did you try to get a hold of the assessor's office and discuss with them and have them do a walkthrough with you to show the situation that you're trying to express today?
Sir, I didn't understand that I had the right to do that. My understanding was that was this forum.
All right. Anything else?
I'm just no. I would challenge the assessor, whoever comes up with this number, to demonstrate how no properties in the country are appreciating at a rate of 30, let alone 40%, but my property magically did. There's no property in the United States that's almost 65 years old that's selling for $386 a foot that hasn't been drastically updated. There's no property in the country that's selling for $362 a foot that's 65 years old that hasn't been drastically updated. Mine has not been updated.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
So in regards to the conditional issues, I will make a note that we do have the condition of the subject without the inspection walkthrough. We already have it at a fair average, so we are reflecting that there may be some conditional issues. The effective age I'm showing as 1989. So that some of those conditional issues are reflected. One thing to note here, now on page 6, the sales comparison grid did show an average adjusted market value of $559,505. So we are recommending adjustment, but just to note that the subject itself sold 6/15/2017 for $605,000, which is above where we are at now. Now, based on the sales comparison, we are going to recommend a lower value, but just to note that dollar per square foot. The appellant mentioned that nothing sells for that. The subject itself actually sold for more than that. So with that, we are asking the board to adjust the current assessed value to land 194,740, building 360,260 for a total assessed value of 555,000.
Any rebuttal, sir?
You're still at $362 a foot. That real estate, and I let me back up for a second. This house was built in 1963. There is, I don't know where 1989 came from. Maybe there was the addition of what you're calling the attached garage, and it's technically it shares the same roof, which is all leaked, but you have to walk out of the house and through the carport to get into the attached garage. So the 1989 must represent an add-on long before my time, but the original structure, the portion where the bedroom is and the kitchen is 1963. In either case, again, looking at averages, it just doesn't work in the real world. I guess I've learned a hard lesson that I need to have my house appraised or physically viewed by somebody from your committee every year in order to stay ahead of this. But there's no real estate worth $362 a foot that was built in 1963. It hasn't been updated. It desperately needs an update, but I've got two girls in college, a sick wife, and there's only so much I can do. And I feel like I'm being taxed out of the property by not just you, but the irrigation and reclamation district. And it's just, I don't know what else to say. I'm just stumped that I can't present evidence in person.
Well, keep in mind, again, this is not to do with your taxes. It's only the assessed value of the house. We have nothing to do with the taxes here. Is there anything else?
No.
Okay.
Just to answer the question about the year built 1989, that's not the actual year built, that is the effective age. So based on its condition, that would be the age that represents the condition that it's in, again, being fair average. So that isn't the actual year built. Just wanted to clarify that. We do have it as 1963 actual year built, but based on the condition that it's in, homes have had something done to them in that time. So that effective age reflects the having had minimal work to it. And at average, that would be typical wear and tear. So we are at fair average. So we are accounting for a little bit extra of wear and tear based on the information and the information that was gathered the last time we were there. And again, we don't, during our physical inspections, we do not go through the interior. So if there is any interior issues, we would need to be made aware of that. And that way we could have a physical inspection and see those things. Our physical inspections, when we're out there, we might not even get to talk to a homeowner because maybe they're at work or what have you. So we're limited on the information that we know about the condition of the house based on what we can see from outside. If there's a roof leak, for example, chances of us being able to tell that from exterior inspections, probably pretty slim. So that's where it would be important to have us do an interior inspection to see those things, or again, provide, if you were able to provide pictures. However, you can't do that at this time based on the board. So just wanted to clarify that's where that effective age comes from, but I have nothing else.
Mr. Chair, may I add something?
Sure.
And I sense your frustration, sir. Just as far as the evidence, having done this for a while, it's really important you read those letters sent from the clerk, because I will guarantee you that letter you received that told you your hearing was today, Told you all your evidence had to be in 21 business days prior. And that's so there's no surprises here. We view all the evidence. We've got it sitting in front of us for both parties that everything's submitted. This is only oral testimony. So it's really important to any evidence you have, if you have it, talk to the assessor and submit it to the Board of Equalization. We're the check and balance for the assessor. We don't work for them. We work totally separate. So I really encourage you to do that.
And the only other thing that I would add to that, you come up with a number. Where did you get that number, that 257 number?
That was based on the comps of homes that were that age in that condition, and the value per square foot that I submitted. Whoever created the Word document that had the 4 other comps, I lived in one of those houses and I've been in the other 3. The only thing that we have in common are that all 5 are waterfront. The 4th example I lived in as a rental. When we moved, the gentleman that bought it completely gutted it and remodeled it, so it is now in excellent shape. The first home I went and looked at, that's waterfront with a dock. The second home is not only waterfront with a bulkhead and a dock, 3 jet ski slots, 2 boat slots, an in-ground swimming pool, a hot tub, a beachfront or waterfront miniature home. Also, that's a much newer home and much more recently renovated, in excellent condition. The third example includes 6 acres of real estate. So these are the only thing that the 5 buildings, including mine, have in common are that they're waterfront. Anyway, I would ask the board, to the degree that you can show any amount of mercy on the value you're putting on the property, I would appreciate it. And I will consider this a lesson learned otherwise, and submit a great deal more evidence in advance next year and have one of your people come do a walkthrough.
I have nothing further now.
Right.
Okay. This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all the information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order.